I do actually think that Trump is guilty of human rights violations, but not because he killed drug traffickers. That's not the real controversy about Donald Trump. Really, it's that he said this in Europe a couple of days ago. I don't know if you saw this clip, but here it is. Watch.
When you look at what has happened to football in the United States, again, soccer in the United States, we seem to never call it that because we have a little bit of a conflict with another thing that's called football. But when you think about it, shouldn't it really be called? I mean, this is football. There's no question about it. We have to come up with another name for the NFL stuff.
Yeah.
It really doesn't make sense when you think about it. It's really football.
Okay. Impeach him. Fine. Just impeach him. What are you doing, Mr. President? Why are you, like, you're telling these people that they get to take ownership of the name football? You're telling them that our football shouldn't be called football? Why are you doing that? What are you doing? This is the deepest betrayal. Because I'm someone who doesn't use extreme language. I don't do that. So I will only say this is the deepest betrayal that any American has ever committed in history. I never thought I would say this, but we need to denaturalize and deport Donald Trump. That's the only solution I can come up with. If you got a better solution, let me know. But I can't think of a better solution. So let me just say, for the record, football is our name. It's our sport. And we're not giving it up. Okay, I don't care. Oh, but the Europeans had the name football before we did. Okay, so we took it. It's ours now. This is America. I don't care if you had the name football for 1,000 years. We showed up and we said, yeah, that's ours now. We're going to use that for our thing. No, football is ours. You can't use it. Yeah. Well, shut up, nerd. How about that? And then we shove them into a locker. That's America. That's what we do. And I don't want to hear any arguments either about how football makes more sense as a name for soccer because you use your feet in soccer. First of all, again, this is America. I think it's great that we commandeered a name that doesn't even make the most sense. We looked at the most popular global sport and we said, oh yeah, we'll call it that. And that's great. I love it. The name doesn't make sense. Okay, well, no, you don't make sense. Okay, your face doesn't make sense, foreigner. How about that? We're calling our thing football. That's what we're doing. Deal with it. And also, by the way, you do use your feet in football. Okay, that's so people. There's this conversation around this now. People say, "Well, you don't even use your feet in football." Oh, you don't? Really? What? So what? Patrick Mahomes is out there army crawling. What do you got? Saquon Barkley doing barrel rolls, flopping around on the ground like a fish? What do you mean? They use their feet. Every football player at every position for every play for the entirety of the football game uses their feet. Feet are like integral. Okay, try playing football with no feet. See how that works out. So what do you mean they don't use their feet? This would be... It's not like we took a chess or something and renamed it football. Something that you could do without feet and doesn't have a ball. Okay, we didn't do that. Maybe we should. Maybe just to prove a point. Here's what I think we should do. Take football, that name away from American football, but give it to checkers. We're going to start calling checkers football, just to piss you off. You don't need feet, and there's no ball, and we're going to say, and then, okay, well, now we have American football. It doesn't have a name. You know what we're going to do? We're going to call that cricket now. That's what I would like to see happen. You named your sport after an insect anyway, so it's fair game. You're judging us for our sport names, and then you've got over in Europe, you've got cricket. You have a sport called cricket. What the hell is some sport called cricket where the games take 97 days to finish? Nobody knows the rules. No one does. They're just up there kind of winging it, playing cricket. They just play until everyone gets bored or dies of starvation. That's cricket, as far as I know. And they have the gall to judge us for our sports. Give me a break. So that's a big L for Trump there. Unfortunate. I want to tell you about a really solid deal from our sponsor, My Patriot Supply. It's their buy one, gift two special Christmas. Here's how it works. All month long, when you buy a 4-week emergency food kit, they'll throw in 2 1-week food kits absolutely free that you can then give as gifts. Now, I know emergency food might not sound like your typical stocking stuffer, but think about it. If you've got friends or family who are into camping, preparedness, or just being ready for whatever comes your way, these actually make really thoughtful gifts. And for those who haven't thought much about emergency prep, this might be exactly the nudge they need. Look, with everything we've seen the past few years, weather getting more unpredictable, supply chain issues, it just makes sense to have some food put away. My wife and I feel a lot better knowing we've got our bases covered for the kids. So with this deal, you're taking care of your own family, which is most important, while getting meaningful Christmas gifts that actually matter. And those 2 gift kits, completely free. So head over to mypatriotsupply.com/Walsh and grab yours today. This offer is only around for the holiday season, so go to mypatriotsupply.com/Walsh right now. That's mypatriotsupply.com/Walsh. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey continues to pander to the Somalis in his city, and here he is at a Somali restaurant hanging on for dear life while eating some third world slop. Watch. So he is disgusted. Yeah, I mean, you could see the look of just total despair and panic as he tries to force that slop down his throat, doing the classic move, spreading the food around in the bowl, right? Trying to make it look like he's eating more than he has. And also he's buying time. He's chewing, he's doing a lot of chewing, and he's spreading the food around, and he's buying time as he's contemplating, trying to figure a way out of this situation. What's his excuse going to be for why he's not going to finish this? He's thinking about all the intestinal parasites that he's consuming. He's doing his best. You know, you can see him. He's doing his best. He's like, oh, wow, yeah. Yeah. What is this? What is this? What are you? Oh, yeah. Great. I've always wanted to try this. What is this? Is this horse testicles? Oh, it's horse testicles. Okay. Great. Well, thank you for feeding this to me. And what else is that? Is that, intestines? Goat intestines. And the goat intestines, it tastes like you didn't clean them out totally. Oh, you didn't? Okay, yeah, because there's kind of a poop flavor to them. Very, very good. I couldn't eat another bite though. I'm stuffed. Actually, my wife is making horse testicles at home. I don't want to spoil my appetite. So he's doing his best. He's doing his best to get through it. I feel for the guy. I've been in this exact situation. It's on film. When we were doing What is a Woman with the tribe in Kenya, and they gave me it's a very similar situation. They gave me a raw goat kidney to eat straight out of the carcass. Slaughtered the goat right there, took the kidney out, still warm. I don't know if you've had warm meat it's not warm because it was cooked. It's warm because of the body heat of the animal that it came out of. Okay. It's a very different kind of warm, and just handed it to me to eat. And the thing is, I'm not normally a very polite person, and I don't always have a ton of respect for other cultures, I admit. So I would have probably said, no, I'm not going to eat that. No, thank you. But we hadn't filmed the scene. I mean, we just got there and we were going to do a whole day of filming, and we had this specific scene we wanted to get where I talked to the tribe about, transgenderism. That's the whole reason we were there. And we hadn't gotten the scene yet. So I had to keep them on my side. I couldn't offend them. And so I had to play ball, and I ate the thing. And it was not as repulsive as I was expecting. So if you're going to eat an organ raw, I think kidney is probably the one to go with. Pretty mild. I wouldn't recommend it in general. But these are problems that we should not. That was in Africa. I was in Africa. These are not problems that we should have in America. And yet we do, thanks to guys like Jacob Frey, who has now had to literally taste his own medicine. And he's gotten the E. coli to show for it. And here's the thing. None of that will dampen his enthusiasm for importing Somalia into the United States. If he would be fine if he turned Minneapolis into a place where that's the only thing available to eat, even for breakfast. Think about that. In a place like Somalia, the stuff that he was eating, the slop bowl, that's bad enough at dinner. They eat that for breakfast. That's every meal. And Jacob Frey, if it's up to him, his whole city would just be that. The whole country would be. Which I guess means that on second thought, I don't really have a lot of sympathy for him, as it turns out. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like access to my full show with no ads, you should go to dailywire.com and use promo code Walsh to get 2 months free on all annual plans. See you there.